Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudoku and Puzzles. Myself Ashish, and today I'll be covering a video on a puzzle genre called Sheep and Wolves puzzle. It is nothing but a Slitherlink variant, a variant of a Slitherlink puzzle, and the constructor of this puzzle is Hans van Stippend, and this puzzle was featured in gmpuzzles.com website, right? So one of the best websites for the puzzles and Sudokus. So I'll add the link in the description below, from which the puzzle has been taken, the website page, and as well as the online interface of the link of the puzzle that we are solving today. So this puzzle is also featured in the upcoming contest called Puzzle Zodiac, conducted on LMI this weekend. So the instruction booklet is already released, so you can check out the puzzle types that will be appearing in the upcoming contest, and I'll add the link in the description for the contest page too. And even in my earlier videos in our channel, we have covered a speed solving of a Slitherlink puzzle covered by me. So I will even add the link to that page, so you can just have a look on how to solve a regular Slitherlink puzzle. This puzzle is nothing but a Slitherlink puzzle, but just an extra constraint onto the puzzle, which makes it more fun to solve, right? So coming on to the rules, as we already know that according to the Slitherlink rules, we have to draw a single non-intersecting loop that passes through some of the dots in the grid, not all dots, right? And the number indicates that number of the 4 orthogonal sides that are used by the loop. So if this is a 2, then there will be 2 sides used by the loop. If this is a 3, then there will be 3 sides used by the loop, right? And apart from that, you have some S and W in the grid, right? So S means sheeps and W means wolf, right? So after drawing the whole loop, right, so when you have completed drawing the loop, after drawing the loop, all of the sheeps that are inside the grid should be inside the loop, and all of the wolves should be outside the loop. So what do I mean by that? So let me draw a sample grid for you, and let show you what does I mean by this thing. So let us assume that, right, you have a grid here, a loop here. So if you see this W is outside the loop, and this S is inside the loop. So there is a loop. I'll show you that what do I mean by that. So if you see, this is the green shaded cell is nothing but inside of the loop, and all the other cells are outside the loop. So when you have completed drawing the loop, all of the sheeps, not even a single sheep should be outside the loop. All of the sheeps should be inside the loop, and all of the wolves should be outside the loop. That is what the rule says, the extra constraint, and this makes the puzzle more fun to solve, right? So coming on to the puzzle, let us see how can we solve the puzzle. There are a few tips that I would really like to give you. I wouldn't say few, I would say just one important tip regarding the sheep and wolf puzzle, right? So whenever you have a sheep or a wolf, in general, wherever you have a sheep and a wolf, towards the edge of the grid, any side, any direction towards the edge of the grid. So for example, let us take this W, right? This is a W, and towards the edge of the grid in any direction, you will have even number of loop segments in that direction. So for example, if you have this W towards this edge of the grid, there are 4 possible loop segments towards the edge of the grid. The number of loop segments after the loop is drawn will have only even number of loop segments. It should always have even number of loop segments towards the edge of the grid in any direction. So if you take this direction separately, there are 5 loop segments possible, but you should always have only even number of loop segments, 4, 2 or 0 is also counted as even number of loop segments for a W. For a S, you should have odd number of loop segments in the direction, right, in any particular direction towards the edge of the grid. So this is the edge, right, 1 2 3 4, this is the edge of the grid, and towards the edge of the grid an S will always have odd number of loop segments, right? So if you see what happens here is, so if you have S at an edge, so S is already at an edge, and you know that S will always have odd number of loop segments towards the edge of the grid, this loop segment will always be possible for the S. So it is easy to see the other way around is, when you draw a loop, let us assume that I have drawn a loop. If you have a loop segment outside the S towards the edge of the grid, it will always be inside the loop, because that loop segment will surely meet from this point to this point. At any place they have to meet, right? The whole loop have to meet at this point and this point, and that will make the S inside the loop, right? There is a easy way to see that. And a W will never have a W at an edge. So if a W is at an edge, it will never have the loop segment, right? Because that will make the W inside the loop. So you can cross out those. Excellent, right? So that is the most important trick, I would say. W will always have even number of loop segments towards the edge of the grid from the cell, and S will always have odd number of loop segments towards the edge of the grid from that cell, right? And with that we'll start solving this puzzle. This is one of the most important trick, I would say. Never forget this trick in a Wolf and Slithering puzzle. So now if you see a basic pattern, if you see this loop segment will either go up or towards the right, which will fulfill the one in any direction. So other two cells are marked as crosses, right? Everywhere. So if you see, the start is very good. I really like the start. So this loop segment will either go towards the right or towards the down, and in any direction the one is already fulfilled. So the other two sides of one are crossed out, right? So these two for this loop segment and these two for this loop segment, and you even have here as well. Okay, and okay, and if you see, other way to see this is, you already have a cross here. So if you have a loop segment going this way, it will have to continue upwards, and one will have two loop segments. So same way here as well, right? There are many possible patterns, same patterns in the grid, the start of the grid. So okay, we have drawn all the possible patterns here. Okay, excellent pattern here is this. So if you have a loop segment here, you will have to come down, you will have to go towards the left. And now if you see, the loop segment cannot close in itself, a small loop will be formed. It can neither go up, right? If it goes up, you will have 2 for this one, so it has to go towards the right. Again, this loop segment cannot go down and cannot go left. If it goes down, you will have 2 for this one. If it goes left, you will have 2 for this one, which means that all of these are crosses. Nice. Okay, and so okay, so till that we have drawn all the basic patterns here, all the basic things. We have marked the crossouts also. Marking the cross is always good when you are beginner, when you are new to this puzzle genre, or when you haven't solved many of these kind. And if you are looking for speed solving of these kind of puzzle types, try to avoid the cross marks, right? That will help you to solve the puzzle faster. Just you have to memorize what are the crosses, what are the ways the loop can go. You just have to keep that in mind, and no need to mark the crosses, right? Now if you see, this loop segment cannot go towards right, because then you have a cross here. So this loop segment will get stranded here. This loop point will get stranded, so it has to go up, and same way this has to go up. It cannot go towards the left. Okay, excellent. So see, this logic is helping here. So if you see this W towards this edge of the grid, you cannot have odd number of loop segments for the W. So if you have a loop segment here, this W will have odd number of loop segments towards the left. Same way for the down, which means that these two have to go up this way, and okay, which means this has to go up and this has to go up as well. Okay, the 3 will be this way only, there is no other go for the 3, because these two will be a loop segment, and this has to continue this way, right? And so if you see these two, a basic pattern again, these two has two possible combinations, same as the two in the edge, in the corner, in the vertex. So as we already know, if you have a 2 here, you have only 2 possible ways, either these 2 cells, I'll just mark and show you, either these 2 or these 2, right? Same way this 2 is also working the same in the same way, this 2. So it will either go this way or this way, and in both the ways this loop point will have to continue towards this way, right? Giving the one this way, and Again a good narrow logic. Now this 2 will either go this way or this way, as we have already seen. But what happens if it goes this way? This 2 will have these two segments, and it is already a small closed loop formed here, right? That means this 2 will have to go this way, and superb. One more excellent logic here is, if this loop segment goes towards the right, this will go towards the right, and the 2 has only one possible combination available, that will form a closed loop again here, right? Which means that this loop segment cannot go towards the right, it has to go up, and that we can mark a cross here. It will again go up, continue here, so again mark a cross here. And now if you see, this loop point will either go towards the right or towards the bottom, and both the ways it will have a cross here, because both the ways are one is fulfilled, which means that you will mark a cross here because nowhere to go for this loop, so it will have to go this way. And okay, excellent narrow logic, guys. What an incredible puzzle this is. Excellent puzzle. As I already said, GM puzzles is one of the best side. So if you see here, this 3 is the most important clue in this puzzle. I would say the breaking of this puzzle. So what happens if you have, so we know that 3 will have one side as not being the part of the loop. Let us assume that both of these are part of the loop. What happens here is, as you have to see a bit ahead, the moment you mark these two segments for the 3, the 2 continues this way, right? You'll have only one possible place for this 2, same way for this and for this, and that way you contradict this 2. You have only one loop segment for the 2, right? Which means that it is kind of not difficult to see, but it's just a kind of a diagonal pattern of a 3, right? So it is a diagonal pattern of the 3, and this way we know that one of these two segments will be a cross and other will be a loop segment, right? Both of these cannot be a loop segment, which means that both of these will have to be a loop segment, right? Excellent. Which means that both of these will have to be a loop segment for the 2. So the one is fulfilled. This has to go down this way, this has to come down this way, and this has to come down this way. It cannot go inside, it will get stranded, right? So it will come down this way, it will go this way, it will have to come down this way because there is nowhere the loop has a place to go. Again, it cannot go this way, it will have two loop segments, it has to come down. So both of these are crosses now. This is a cross, both of these will be crosses as well, because you'll have two loop segments for the for this one now, and this is a cross here again. Okay, okay, super. So we'll just extend the loop this way, and so if you see this diagonal pattern of 1, again basic pattern here. So we know that this one will be fulfilled either by this loop or this loop, and this endpoint at this loop will either go this way or this way, right? So when you have a loop this way, this endpoint will either go towards the right or down, and even if you have a loop here, this endpoint will either go towards the right or down. In both the conditions, this one is fulfilled in these two places, and we can cross out these two cells, right? Excellent. And if you see now, we have missed some easy things here. That is, this one cannot be these two cells, so this both are crossed out, right? So the 3 has to be in this direction. Superb. And guys, excellent logic, excellent use of that odd even parity of loop segments. So if you see this W, we need to have even number of loop segments towards the upper edge of the grid, right? So either both of these will be loop segment or both of these will not be loop segments, right? So what happens if both of these are loop segments, right? What happens here is you close the loop here, which means that both of these won't be loop segments. This will come down this way, again come down this way, come down this way, and you have a cross here because this loop segment will either go this or this way, and Okay, we have done till this part. Let us see if we get anything else now. So if you see here, the other way to draw, I would say the other way to see that a W cannot be inside the loop is shading the cells which are inside the loop. So I'll help you out in this manner. I'll say what does mean. Let us assume that, not assume, we know that these cells are inside the loop, right? These cells are already inside the loop. These cells are inside the loop, right? Superb. Even this cell, these cells are also inside the loop, guys. Superb, right? So what happens here is, now I have already marked the cells which are inside the loop. Now you have to repel through the W. You will have to go away from the W if you are making if the cell which is inside the loop is near to the W. So if you see this cell, this point, if you see this point, if I go down, we are going away from the W, and if I go this way or this way, the W seems to be inside the loop. It is joining to the green cells, right? So if I connect these two cells will be inside the loop, because the moment we mark a cross here, all of these cells becomes the part of the loop which are inside of the cells, right? Which means that which means that this loop segment won't be the possible loop segment, and it has to go down, right, to make sure that the W is outside the loop. Now if you see an excellent logic here is, if I connect these two cells, the 2 has only one possible way. It goes up and closes the loop, right? Which means that we cannot connect these two cells. It has to go up, and now it gets connected. It has to go up, and we cannot connect these two cells, right? So they both have to go away from each other. This cell will come up, and the one is fulfilled now, which means that this has to go towards the left, and this has to go towards the left. It has to continue this way, which means that these cells are also inside of the loop, right? This is also inside the loop, right? We have marked all the cells. So this is the other way to just see that you go away from the W, right? Another trick, I would say, a good notation. If you are a beginner, I would really suggest you to try this way. It is a really fun way to do to solve the puzzle this way, right? And with that, we'll continue solving this puzzle. I'm really enjoying these kind of puzzles, because it is very difficult, and the tricks that I'm explaining is really helpful to solve this puzzle, right? And let us see if we are able to complete this puzzle. So this 2 will have to come down, only possible way for the 2, which means that this one has to come down because this marks the cross here. And okay, this one, sorry. So this one has only one place to go. It connects this here, and superb logic again, guys. Excellent logic. So if you see this W now, towards this edge of the grid, it already has odd number of loop segment, and W should always have even number of loop segments, right? And there is only one loop segment pending, which means marking this as a loop segment will give you an even number of loop segments in that direction, which directly closes the loop. Excellent, guys. So now this has to continue this way, and these two cells are inside the loop, right? And okay, we have marked till this one. Let's see if we can continue. So this 2 has only 2 possible loop segments, either these 2 or this 2, right? There is no other possible way. So if you close this, all of these 3 are not part of the loop segments now. They will be getting crossed out, which means this has to come down and go this way. This has to go this way and come down, and these 2 cells cannot meet. So this has to go this way, and this too is now fulfilled by having a loop segment at the bottom. And with this we have completed this excellent sheep and wolf slithering variant, right? What an excellent puzzle this was. So if you see now, after drawing the whole loop, if you see all of the the sheeps 1 2 3 4 5 are inside the loop, and none of the wolves are inside the loop. They are all outside the loop. So this gives a very good enjoyment in a slithering puzzle. Just marking the W and S gives a different variant, a different way to solve the puzzle, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this video. That is what we are looking forward to. Teaching new techniques that are very much easy to solve during the competition mode, right? So do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.